行くぞはっジェノサイカッタ
Hello everyone, what's happening? This is Forgo, and today is payday, which is freaking amazing. So all of us can be able to collect our rubies from the league match, from Infinite Battle, from Team Relay Dungeons, and so on, which is great. But today we're going to be doing an encore to take on Guild Raid against Omega. And I just want to give a big shout out to all of my alliance or guild members for participating in this, man. Thank you so much. It's because of all of you guys that we were able to get to expert mode, which is wonderful. You can see right here that my boy did beat me. He did it twice. I did this in one run, so I'm coming for you, my friend. I'm coming for you. But pretty freaking cool. As far as my team, you can see that I used the Rock, Psyche, and Ginnets. Same exact team as I did in the other video with the burn damage, except I replaced Psyche with, I replaced Nameless with Psyche. And the only striker change I made was I moved Swimsuit K over to Psyche, and then I put Lady Geese as a striker for Ginnets. And Lady Geese's striker bonus works the same as Swimsuit K's. Based on your attack for a certain amount of time, 7 seconds or so, she's gonna apply that blacken. And based on Ginnets' attack, it's really gonna depend on how fast we can break that meter on the blacken, which is awesome. You can see my teammate here, he used Nameless, K, and Psyche. So again, you know, you just want to have one character with blacken. Unfortunately, currently in the game right now, and this is why this is going to be so difficult, there's only two characters that have blacken, Psyche and Lady Geese. And I mean, Halloween Chris has blacken also, so he's going to be an absolute must for this. I don't even remember what his striker bonus is, but where he's going to be an absolute must for this event, which is great. Not for this event, but for Omega Rugal. So if we jump in here, now, you know, I've already talked about the Rock. I just want to look at Lady Geese's striker here effect. So her striker bonus is inflicts damage equal to 332% of attack to an enemy. We don't care about that. But applies darkness equal to 27% of attack every 1 second for 7 seconds to the target upon landing a skill. So when you bring her in as a striker, the character that you're using as a damage dealer, whatever their attack stats are, the more attack they have, the more darkness that you're going to apply to Rugal. And since my Ginnets is built up pretty well, he has 2 imprint stones, he's jacked up pretty good, and he can rotate through his skills very, very fast, especially when he's awakened. You're just going to melt that darkness meter, and then you're going to stun Rugal and take him out. I'm also using her as a striker because right now she's currently level 20. My Psyche, though, unfortunately, you know, he's just not doing that well. He actually dies very easy. I mean, even though he's getting these all max capsules, he's level 20, but it just isn't good enough. Rugal just melts him like nothing. And in the future, maybe I'll change the leadership and use Psyche's leadership here. This increase yellow element fighter attack skill by 60%. Maybe throw in Pretty Zero. Maybe throw in Orochi Iori. Although I tried Iori earlier, and mine's 4-star, level 37, all max capsules. And he freaking dies. He dies. So he's not really, I don't think he's going to be really that great for this dungeon, but let me know if he works out for you. But Psyche, you don't want to use him as a striker because he doesn't apply darkness whenever he uses him as a striker. It's not like Lady Geese. And since Lady Geese, both of these characters for me are both at level 20, I'm using her as a striker because she's an extremely useful striker. I can bring in blackness during when Ginnets is in there, or a different damage dealer, and I can use Psyche to apply blackness whenever I switch them in. And something to note about, you know, when you're using Psyche, if you're trying to keep him alive, and this is something you're going to see me do in the run I'm going to do, because he dies so easy, is I try to apply this blackness from his first skill. Whenever you do this skill, applies blackout for 6 seconds to the target upon landing his skill. And the darkness damage is equal to 30% of attack every 1 second. Decreases power by 2%. We don't care about the decreased power in this anyways. But, you know, you're getting a blackness equal to 30% of attack. So I try to apply the darkness or blackness and then maybe switch to another character and try to do damage to Rugal while the blackness is being applied. Since my Psyche isn't that strong and dies very easy, I don't really keep him in the fight too long. I'm really mainly going to be going between the Rock and Ginnets and going back and forth between them for the most part. but you really got to manage when to time your awakened skills to make sure your awakened skills are going to be off cooldown whenever you bring your character in, so that way you can use your awakened skill when you break the more or less shield barrier that Rugal has, so he gets stunned, and then you can start doing tons of damage to him. For my Psyche, I have a maxed out KS set. It's really the best set for him if you're trying to build him as defensive as possible. Maybe put the Ryugo set, maybe try to keep him alive. And honestly, if I had this skill level up at 10, which is something I'm really notorious for not doing, he would probably done a little bit better, but it really wouldn't have made that much of a difference. I need to get this guy leveled up a little bit more. Unfortunately, right now, all I have is one Imprint Stone, so I can't. And we've already talked about the Rock. I got a Noah set on Rock. You know, he's all capsuled out, blah, 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 blah. He's all decked up. He's got one Imprint Stone on him. And Ginnitz, you know, he's same deal. He's all jacked up. He's got 2 Imprint Stones on him. He has the Noah set on him as well. And I do like to use the 5PG. I know someone mentioned in the comments that they think for this dungeon or this event that, well, it's not an event, but for Rugal, for Guild Raid, that the shorter 3PG animation would be better. And I do agree with that to a point. Sometimes it is better to do it that way, but if you can time your 5PGs, you can still get them in there, as you'll see. You know, I'll still even be able to get the Rock's 3PG animation in there. And when those animations are going on, those long animations, your awakened skills are still counting down. They're still counting down. So it's going to help you be able to switch back and forth between your characters, especially when you're doing a run like this, where I'm trying to keep Psyche alive, but I'm not trying to use him too much in there because he will die. He will die. And when you're trying to prolong the timer as much as possible and trying to rotate between just 2 characters instead of 3, it makes it that much more difficult. You know, really, I think if I would have put a recovery striker here, I think that would have been a lot better. Rock doesn't really need it. He's level 30. He can pretty much survive, but Psyche needs recovery. He needs a damn heal, something fierce. Maybe give him a healing striker with super armor, maybe like Ukyo or Ash or someone like that to really help him out. Actually, Ash would have been... Yeah, Ash would have been way better. I should have used Ash instead because we got the super armor. We would have got a heal, recovery with 12 HP, 12% HP, and we would have also got increased attack equal to 15% of defenses. And this is always up. So I actually made a mistake when I did my run. I should have put Ash in there. Psyche would have had more attack, and we would have been able to decrease the darkness bar even faster, because the more attack you have, the more blackness or darkness that you're going to apply to Rugal. Plus, you got the power charge rate by 9%. So this would have been a lot better than what I just had. But I already did the run, so we're just going to run with it. So let's jump into the action and let's rock and roll. So again, I really wish I would have switched out Swimsuit K for Ash, but it is what it is. So just like in the other video, I bring in Kyo, apply a little burn, and then I go through my first full rotation, skill 1, 2, and 3 with Rock. Then I switch to Psyche, apply some blackness, and I switch to Ginnitz. Notice I'm not using Geese. I'm not using her as a striker. You know, we already have blackness applied from Psyche. So all we're doing is trying to build up our awakened skill. Let them skill get off cooldowns, all we're doing. Now we're going to switch back to Psyche, apply a little bit more blackness, and now the blackness is pretty much about finished. Where blackness still applied, boom, and then there Rugal one is stunned. Now we're going to go ahead and hit our awakened skill. And I shouldn't even use that first skill. It takes too long. Should have just done the second, third. If I could have done a little bit more damage, I would have. And we'll see if we get our 3PG here. So we didn't get it that time. That's a bummer. If I would have hit it a little bit earlier, we would have. Here we go. And notice what I did. I switched to Ginnitz. I brought in Geese to apply the darkness, and boom, we already break the meter in no time. That's the thing, man. I mean, Lady Geese works amazing as a striker. I wish Psyche did too, because then I just bring in a stronger character to replace him and use him as a striker. But he just isn't worth. He just doesn't apply blackness when he's a striker, so it isn't worth the crap. Go. There we go. We apply our blackness. And see, like right now, if I had Ash, I'd have more attack. We could have done more blackness damage. That meter that's below Rugal's life bar would be a little bit lower. So that's a mistake that I made. Kind of kicking myself in the face right now for that one. That's alright, that's alright. We're just trying to take down that bar. And you see, Psyche's just too weak. You know, being level 20 on Expert here, he's just too weak. I mean, he needs to be built up much stronger. And there, I switched to Guinness, broke the berry real quick, and then I switched back to Rock because his awakening skill was ready. I want to use Guinness when I got Lady Geese as the striker ready to use. And I'm trying to rotate between Rock and Geese. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to use both of these optimally. And so you can see here, we did get this long animation, which is great. Boom. And then we're going to be able to switch to Psyche, apply a little blackness. We're going to switch to Guinness, bring in Geese, and watch how fast we take down that bar. Boom. Already got him to stun, and we're dealing tons of damage. Where there's a will, there's a way, my friends. Here we go. And you see, we'll get the 5 PG here. Oh, yeah. No problem. As long as you hit your skill before Rugal breaks out of his stun, you can get it off. But you got to get the skill going before he breaks out of that stun. Actually, a little bit, about 2 seconds before he gets out of that stun. It's actually about a good time. I don't think always, but a lot of times it seems to work out that way. And you see the damage we just took. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and hit our 3 PG. Because we want Geese to be ready, Lady Geese to be ready to be bringing us a striker. Boom. Okay. And there I brought in Lady Geese, and we're taking down the bar. There we go. And I think I would have had time to hit that first, second, and third skill real quick and then go into the special afterwards. Yeah. That would have been a little, I think we'd have done a little more damage. Maybe you would have hit 90 million if I would have done that at the very end. But sometimes you're in the moment, you don't think about what you're doing. So I was able to hit 85 million in one run. Not too bad considering my Psyche's level 20. My other characters are fairly strong, but definitely could be a whole lot stronger. And just like in the video with the burn, you can use any characters you want. But you're going to need to use Lady Geese and Psyche for sure, because you need to have that blackness. And if your Lady Geese isn't built up very well, use her as a striker. But if you don't have Psyche, then you're going to need to use her as a damage dealer, because you're going to need to have that blackness available to you at all times so your other characters can try to break that shield. So let me know what teams you guys are using in Guild Raid, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.